Fyodor Dostoevsky's life is an epic journey, marked by hardship and triumph. Born in Moscow on November 30, 1821, to a surgeon father, Dostoevsky grew up in a modest family environment that nurtured his intellectual curiosity from early on. His childhood was shadowed by the tragic death of his parents when he was just 15. These losses left an indelible mark on him and fueled his deep existential questions about life's meaning. Dostoevsky's literary genius began to blossom in St. Petersburg, where he pursued a career as a writer. He started with short stories that were well received, but it wasn't until the release of Poor Folks in 1846 that his literary aspirations truly took off. This novel was heralded for its profound insights into human psychology and social issues, earning him recognition from prominent critics like Vissarion Belinsky. However, Dostoevsky's life journey wasn't without obstacles. His financial instability led to gambling debts, a habit that would haunt him throughout his life, contributing to periods of deep personal crisis. But it was more than material misfortunes that plagued him. He faced significant political challenges as well. In 1849, Dostoevsky found himself among the members of a secret literary society, accused of anti-government activities. His arrest and subsequent imprisonment at Peter Paul Fortress were pivotal moments in his life, shaping much of his philosophical outlook. The Siberian exile that followed for 4 years was another profound experience. During this time, Dostoevsky immersed himself in the harsh realities of Russian society, observing its extremes closely. This period not only deepened his understanding of human nature, but also provided him with a unique perspective on societal structures and the struggle between good and evil. Upon returning from exile, Dostoevsky's literary career began to flourish. Works like Notes from a Dead House and The Insulted and the Injured continued to explore themes of justice and morality. But it was with novels such as Crime and Punishments that he truly cemented his reputation as one of the great masters of literature. Through this work, Dostoevsky delved deeply into the moral and psychological complexities of human life, questioning fundamental truths about justice, redemption, and human freedom. St. Petersburg, a novel from 1862, provided a detailed portrayal of his city's social milieu, highlighting its dark underbelly and moral dilemmas. The publication of The Idiot in the late 1860s was another significant milestone for Dostoevsky. This novel showcased his deep psychological insight into characters suffering from severe mental illness, revealing the author's empathy towards those on society's fringes. However, amidst these literary achievements, Dostoevsky's personal life continued to be tumultuous. His relationship with his second wife, Anna Snitkina, was marked by a complex mix of love and struggle. Their marriage saw periods of harmony, but also intense conflicts over finances, health issues, and the demands of Dostoevsky's writing career. It was during this period that Dostoevsky's philosophy of life began to resonate with his readership in ways that went beyond mere literary appeal. His belief in the inherent goodness of human beings, despite their flaws and imperfections, found expression through characters who struggle against overwhelming odds. This optimism amidst pessimism became a hallmark of his later works. Brothers Karamazov, one of Dostoevsky's last novels published in 1880, stands as a testament to his profound exploration of faith and morality. Through the story of 4 brothers and their father's murder, Dostoevsky unraveled intricate questions about human nature, justice, and the existence of God. The novel's depth and philosophical richness have made it one of the most influential works in world literature. In considering why smart people might be lazy, one can look at Dostoevsky's own life for insights. His struggles with financial instability, health issues, and existential crises offer a glimpse into the paradoxical nature of intellectual struggle. For Dostoevsky, intelligence alone was not enough to overcome the material and emotional challenges he faced. Wisdom came from grappling with these difficulties head-on. The question, "Why are you stuck?" echoes through many aspects of his life story. Whether it's the physical constraints imposed by illness or imprisonment, the mental burdens of existential questioning, or the societal pressures that shaped his literary output, Dostoevsky's journey is a poignant reflection on the human condition. His narrative not only speaks to the complexities of personal growth and transformation, but also invites us to question our own paths in life. Dostoevsky's work continues to resonate today because it captures the essence of human struggle against adversity, whether it be inner demons or external forces. In a world where perfection is often seen as the goal, Dostoevsky's portrayal of flawed yet resilient individuals provides a refreshing perspective on what it means to live an authentic life. As we look at his legacy and the impact of his work, we see that Dostoevsky's ability to explore profound questions through deeply human characters continues to inspire readers around the globe. Whether discussing existential dilemmas, moral choices, or societal issues, Dostoevsky's narrative provides a lens through which one can understand both individual struggles and universal truths. In summing up this journey of Fyodor Dostoevsky's life and work, we are left with an enduring reminder that true wisdom often comes from facing life's challenges directly. His stories, rife with psychological depth and moral inquiry, offer a timeless guide to navigating the complexities of human existence. Dostoevsky and Why Smart People Are Lazy. Fyodor Dostoevsky, the Russian author of the 19th century, was a master at delving deep into the human psyche, exploring the complex interplay between morality, suffering, and existential dilemmas. His novels, such as Crime and Punishment, The Idiot, and The Brothers Karamazov, are not just tales of individual characters but also profound explorations of societal issues and moral questions that continue to resonate today. In the world Dostoevsky created, every character grapples with their own form of existential crisis. Often, these crises stem from a sense of isolation or disillusionment with the society they inhabit. This is particularly evident in Crime and Punishment, where the protagonist, Raskolnikov, embarks on a psychological journey that challenges his understanding of morality and existence itself. Raskolnikov's struggle is emblematic of many intelligent individuals who find themselves at odds with conventional wisdom or societal norms. His belief in the Übermensch philosophy that some extraordinary people are justified in committing crimes to achieve great ends reflects a common dilemma faced by intellectually curious individuals. How can one reconcile personal beliefs and ambitions with moral integrity? Dostoevsky's portrayal of Raskolnikov's inner turmoil provides an insightful lens into this struggle. But why are smart people often lazy or stuck in their thinking? One could argue that intellectual prowess is both a blessing and a curse. On one hand, it allows individuals to see beyond the surface level of life's complexities. On the other hand, it can lead to disillusionment with simplistic solutions and an overwhelming sense of existential fatigue. Dostoevsky's characters frequently find themselves in situations where conventional morality seems inadequate or outdated. In The Idiot, Prince Myshkin returns from a sanatorium after years abroad, only to be met with a society that appears corrupt and lacking in genuine human connection. His idealism clashes violently with the harsh realities of life, leading him to question not just his place within society, but also the very essence of morality. This sense of disillusionment can paralyze individuals who are deeply introspective or critical thinkers. They often feel trapped between their intellectual understanding of the world and the practicalities of living in it. This is where Dostoevsky's work shines. He doesn't just describe these dilemmas but delves into them with a level of psychological depth that is both unsettling and enlightening. In The Brothers Karamazov, Ivan, one of the brothers, grapples intensely with his own version of this existential crisis. His famous parable about the devil and his inability to reconcile suffering in the world with the existence of an all-powerful, benevolent God encapsulates the intellectual struggle perfectly. The logical reasoning that leads him to doubt traditional beliefs can be incredibly debilitating when applied to one's personal life. It is this paradox between intellectual capacity and practical action that often leaves individuals feeling stuck or lazy. They may understand complex ideas about morality, philosophy, and existence, but find it difficult to apply these concepts in a meaningful way in their daily lives. This disconnect can lead to a sense of paralysis or apathy, as seen repeatedly throughout Dostoevsky's works. Moreover, Dostoevsky's exploration of guilt and redemption is particularly relevant here. His characters often suffer from a deep-seated guilt that stems not just from actions, but also from thoughts and beliefs. This guilt can be debilitating, making it hard to move forward or find peace. In Crime and Punishment, Raskolnikov's internal conflict about his murder of the pawnbroker is not just about the act itself, but also about his own nature as a thinker who believes in certain moral absolutes. The idea that smart people can be lazy or stuck isn't just about intellectual capacity. It's also about emotional and psychological resilience. Dostoevsky's characters are often caught between their intense intellect and an equally powerful sense of morality, leading them to question every decision they make. This constant questioning can lead to a state of inertia where even the simplest actions become overwhelming. However, there is hope in Dostoevsky's narrative as well. Despite the darkness that pervades his works, he also explores themes of redemption and personal growth. In The Brothers Karamazov, Alyosha's journey towards faith and community provides a counterpoint to Ivan's despair. Through his interactions with others and his own spiritual awakening, Alyosha finds a path forward. In conclusion, Dostoevsky offers a complex yet enlightening perspective on why smart people can be lazy or stuck in their thinking. His characters provide a window into the human condition where intellectual capacity meets emotional and moral dilemmas. Their struggles highlight the challenges of living in a world that often demands simpler answers than those provided by deep introspection. Dostoevsky's exploration of these themes continues to resonate today, offering insights not just about literature, but also about life itself. His work serves as a reminder that true wisdom often comes from facing life's complexities head-on and finding ways to navigate them with integrity. Dostoevsky's exploration of the human condition delves deep into the intricate relationship between intellectual capacity and moral dilemmas. His characters often grapple with profound questions about existence, morality, and the purpose of life in a world that is complex and often indifferent to these existential quandaries. One such character who embodies this struggle is Ivan Karamazov from The Brothers Karamazov. Through his eyes, we see not just a philosophical debate, but also a reflection on why smart people can sometimes feel paralyzed by the weight of their thoughts and emotions. Ivan's story begins in the fertile intellectual landscape of 19th century Russia. The period was marked by rapid social change, political upheaval, and a pervasive sense of uncertainty. It was an era when traditional values were being questioned at every turn, and new ideologies such as socialism and nihilism emerged to challenge established beliefs. Against this backdrop, Dostoevsky's characters are often caught between the old world they know is crumbling and the new world that remains undefined. Ivan himself is a brilliant but tormented soul who struggles with the idea of divine justice and the existence of suffering in an apparently indifferent universe. His intellectual prowess leads him to question fundamental beliefs about morality and ethics, leading to a crisis that leaves him emotionally drained and physically exhausted. This exhaustion isn't just physical, it's mental, spiritual, and emotional. It's the kind of weariness that comes from wrestling with profound questions without finding clear answers. This is not unique to Ivan alone, but reflects a broader theme in Dostoevsky's work, the idea that intellectual complexity can often lead to moral paralysis. Smart people like Ivan are quick to see the flaws and inconsistencies in existing systems of thought, leading them to question everything around them. This constant questioning can be exhausting because it requires an immense amount of mental energy and emotional investment. They struggle with a sense of helplessness and despair as they realize that finding answers might not lead to comfort or resolution, but rather to more questions and uncertainties. The reason why smart people sometimes feel stuck is rooted in their ability to see the world's complexities with clarity. Their intellectual capacity allows them to recognize the nuances, contradictions, and paradoxes of life. They are acutely aware that there are no easy answers to fundamental questions about morality, justice, and existence. This awareness can be overwhelming because it challenges the simplistic solutions that less reflective individuals might find more readily acceptable. Dostoevsky's portrayal of Ivan's struggle is a poignant reminder of the human condition in its complexity. The character embodies the idea that true wisdom often comes from facing these complexities head-on and finding ways to navigate them with integrity. His journey isn't just about intellectual growth, but also about moral development. He learns, through immense suffering and introspection, to find meaning even in a world where definitive answers are hard to come by. Ivan's story is not isolated. It echoes throughout Dostoevsky's works. In Notes from Underground, the protagonist similarly grapples with his place in society and the paradoxes of human freedom and determinism. His internal monologues reveal a mind wrestling with profound questions about identity, morality, and the meaning of life. Like Ivan, he finds himself caught between his intellect and his emotions, torn apart by the conflicting demands of reason and feeling. The philosophical roots of Dostoevsky's work also draw heavily on existentialist themes that would become prominent in later centuries. Existentialism, with its focus on individual freedom and responsibility, resonates deeply with the struggles of characters like Ivan. They confront a world that offers no easy solutions or clear moral guidelines, leading them to question their own existence and purpose. This struggle is not just about intellectual exhaustion, but also emotional burnout. The constant questioning and seeking of answers can be emotionally draining because it involves facing difficult truths about oneself and the world. This emotional labor is often underestimated but is crucial in understanding why smart people can feel stuck. They are not merely intellectually fatigued, they are deeply weary from the continuous confrontation with life's complexities. In Dostoevsky's narrative, the characters who find a way through their intellectual labyrinth do so by embracing a form of wisdom that transcends simple answers. This wisdom is born out of acceptance and understanding rather than resolution or certainty. It involves acknowledging the limits of human knowledge while still striving to live with integrity and compassion. This perspective offers insights not just about literature, but also about life itself. Dostoevsky's characters remind us that true strength comes from facing life's complexities head-on, even if it means embracing uncertainty and ambiguity. They teach us that being stuck isn't necessarily a bad thing. It can be the beginning of deeper understanding and personal growth. In Ivan's case, his journey culminates in an epiphany where he realizes that true freedom lies not in rejecting complexity, but in engaging with it fully. This realization is deeply poignant because it reflects Dostoevsky's broader message about human existence. Life is inherently complex, and the key to living well is not in finding simple answers, but in understanding and navigating this complexity with wisdom and compassion. So, as we reflect on Dostoevsky's work, we are reminded that intelligence does not always lead to ease or clarity. Instead, it often leads us into deeper waters of thought and feeling, where the struggle is real and profound. Yet, within this struggle lies the potential for a richer, more fulfilling existence. Ivan Karamazov's story teaches us that being stuck can be the starting point for a journey towards greater understanding and wisdom. The story of Ivan Karamazov serves as a profound reflection on human nature, especially when considering the complex interplay between intelligence and existential struggle. Fyodor Dostoevsky's exploration in The Brothers Karamazov delves into the psyche of an intelligent individual who grapples with the deeper questions of life, morality, and spirituality. This narrative isn't just about intellectual prowess, but also the profound implications of using one's intelligence to confront the harsh realities of existence. Ivan Karamazov is a character defined by his sharp wit and intense cynicism, often seen as a critique of rationalism that fails to address the spiritual needs of mankind. His journey through life is not straightforward. It's a labyrinthine path filled with philosophical dilemmas and existential quandaries. Ivan's brilliance doesn't shield him from suffering or confusion, but rather plunges him deeper into a world where clarity seems unattainable. The Bull and the Mouse, an allegory within Dostoevsky's work, represents the stark contrast between power and vulnerability. The bull symbolizes strength and dominance, while the mouse signifies weakness and fragility. This metaphor encapsulates the broader theme of human existence, the paradoxical nature of our intellectual capabilities and their limitations in understanding and resolving existential crises. In a world where intelligence is often praised as the key to success and happiness, Dostoevsky challenges this notion by presenting Ivan's story. Despite his intellect, Ivan finds himself entangled in a web of emotional turmoil and ethical dilemmas. His journey from skepticism towards an acceptance of faith and compassion illustrates the paradoxical nature of human wisdom. The more one knows, the more they realize how much there is to learn. The question arises, why are smart people often lazy or unmotivated? This paradox can be explored through Ivan's character, who, despite his immense intellectual capacity, struggles with inertia and despair. It suggests that intelligence alone isn't enough. It requires emotional resilience and spiritual grounding to navigate life's complexities effectively. Dostoevsky's narrative challenges the idea that understanding everything leads to happiness or ease. Instead, he posits that true wisdom comes from embracing uncertainty and finding meaning in life's ambiguities. This perspective resonates deeply with many readers who feel stuck in their own lives due to overthinking or a sense of existential paralysis. The bull and the mouse metaphor extends beyond just intellect versus vulnerability. It speaks to the broader human condition. In our quest for knowledge and understanding, we often forget that life is not merely about intellectual conquest, but also about compassion and emotional connection. Ivan's journey teaches us that being stuck in thought can be a necessary step towards a deeper form of wisdom. Ivan's transformation from a skeptical and disillusioned character to someone who begins to find meaning and faith in human kindness exemplifies this idea. His intellectual rigor leads him to question everything, but ultimately, it is through his emotional struggles and spiritual questioning that he finds a path forward. This journey isn't linear. It's filled with doubt and despair before glimpses of hope emerge. Being stuck can be the catalyst for profound personal growth. It forces us to confront our fears, doubts, and limitations, pushing us towards a deeper understanding of ourselves and others. Dostoevsky's portrayal of Ivan Karamazov encapsulates this beautifully. He shows that being intelligent isn't about avoiding challenges, but embracing them with wisdom and compassion. The bull and the mouse symbolize the human struggle between strength and frailty, dominance and submission, clarity and confusion. Just as the mouse must navigate a world dominated by the brute force of the bull, so too do we face our own limitations in understanding life's complexities. Yet within this struggle lies an opportunity for growth and transformation. In conclusion, Dostoevsky's narrative provides a profound reflection on human wisdom and compassion. It challenges us to reconsider what it means to be intelligent and how true knowledge often comes from embracing uncertainty rather than seeking absolute clarity. The journey of Ivan Karamazov teaches us that being stuck can be the beginning of understanding and enlightenment, not just an obstacle to overcome. Through this lens, we see that the path towards wisdom is paved with emotional resilience and spiritual humility. The existential struggles of intelligent individuals, as explored by Fyodor Dostoevsky in his works, reveal deep insights into the human condition. This narrative delves into the paradoxes and complexities that brilliant minds often encounter, questioning why those who possess great intellect sometimes feel trapped or disillusioned. We'll examine the character of Ivan Karamazov from The Brothers Karamazov, a novel rich with philosophical inquiry, to understand how existential dilemmas can serve as catalysts for personal growth and enlightenment. Ivan Karamazov is not just another protagonist in Dostoevsky's intricate web of characters. He embodies the intellectual turmoil that arises when reason confronts moral uncertainty. His journey is a microcosm of broader societal questions about faith, doubt, and the search for meaning. Ivan's brilliance lies in his ability to articulate complex philosophical ideas, yet it also isolates him from the simplicity and warmth of human interaction. Ivan's struggles with intelligence begin early in life. He excels academically but finds himself alienated from his family due to their starkly different outlooks on life. His father, Fyodor Karamazov, represents the worldly and often selfish pursuit of pleasure, while Ivan grapples with a more introspective, questioning nature that leaves him feeling adrift in a world that values pragmatic success over profound inquiry. Dostoevsky's portrayal of Ivan captures the essence of why smart people might appear lazy or indifferent. In a society that rewards tangible achievements and measurable success, those who seek deeper understanding often find themselves at odds with societal expectations. Ivan's intellect compels him to question everything he encounters, leading to fatigue and disillusionment rather than productive engagement. The existential struggle for Ivan is not merely about the pursuit of knowledge, but also its implications on morality and faith. He wrestles with the famous Grand Inquisitor parable within The Brothers Karamazov, a chapter that delves into the conflict between Christ's message of freedom and the temptation to offer comfort through constraint. This narrative presents Ivan's challenge. Can one truly live by a moral code when reason demands skepticism? Ivan's journey towards enlightenment is fraught with emotional trials. His conversations with Alyosha, his brother who embraces faith with conviction, highlight the friction between rationality and spirituality. These dialogues underscore the idea that being stuck in intellectual quandaries can be a prerequisite for genuine spiritual awakening. It's through these moments of existential crisis that Ivan begins to see beyond the confines of his own intellect. The narrative of The Brothers Karamazov is replete with instances where characters who embody different facets of human nature struggle with their respective burdens. For Ivan, this burden is intellectual skepticism and its impact on faith. Dostoevsky masterfully uses Ivan's character to illustrate the broader societal tension between rationalism and spiritual yearning. His existential struggles are not just personal, but reflective of a larger cultural debate. In exploring why smart people might seem lazy or indifferent, we see that for intellectuals like Ivan, life is often more about seeking answers than finding them. This quest can be exhausting, leading to periods of stagnation or withdrawal as the mind grapples with overwhelming questions and uncertainties. However, it also sets the stage for profound personal transformation. Ivan's character serves as a cautionary tale against reducing wisdom to mere intelligence. Dostoevsky's narrative suggests that true knowledge often comes from embracing uncertainty rather than seeking absolute clarity. Ivan's journey teaches us that being stuck can be the beginning of understanding and enlightenment, not just an obstacle to overcome. Through Ivan Karamazov's struggles with existential dilemmas, we are prompted to reconsider what it means to be intelligent in a world where wisdom is often as much about emotional resilience and spiritual humility as it is about intellectual prowess. His story invites us to see the value in questioning and uncertainty, even if these states of being challenge our comfort zones and conventional notions of success. In conclusion, Dostoevsky's exploration of Ivan Karamazov's existential struggles offers a profound reflection on human wisdom and compassion. It challenges us to rethink the nature of intelligence and its relationship with moral integrity and spiritual fulfillment. As we navigate through life, seeking clarity amidst uncertainty, Ivan's journey serves as a powerful reminder that true enlightenment can emerge from moments of being stuck. We step into the darkened corridors of a Russian prison where time seems to slow and reality blurs. It's here that Fyodor Dostoevsky crafts one of his most profound works, inspired by his own stint in Siberian hard labor camps. The year is 1860, and Ivan Karamazov's existential journey takes center stage in The Brothers Karamazov. This chapter delves into the depths of imprisonment and transformation, exploring how our greatest challenges can become catalysts for profound personal growth. In Dostoevsky's world, Ivan is a character who embodies the intellectual torments that many of us face daily. His life spirals from one extreme to another, mirroring the struggles of modern-day thinkers who find themselves trapped in cycles of overthinking and underacting. We are presented with a narrative where every decision seems to lead to more questions than answers, illustrating the paradox of intelligence often leading to paralysis. The first layer of Ivan's story unfolds within the confinements of his mind. His imprisonment is not merely physical, it is a prison of thoughts and emotions, a self-imposed isolation that leaves him questioning everything he once held true. Dostoevsky masterfully weaves together philosophical debates with existential despair, painting a picture of a man struggling to reconcile his intellectual prowess with the moral ambiguity of human existence. As Ivan grapples with these inner demons, the narrative shifts to explore the broader implications of such introspection. Why do smart people often find themselves stuck? The answer lies in the complex interplay between intelligence and emotional resilience. On one hand, a sharp mind allows for deep analysis and understanding of abstract concepts, yet this same trait can lead to an overwhelming sense of responsibility, causing paralysis when faced with decisions that demand immediate action. Ivan's dilemma serves as a poignant reminder that true wisdom extends beyond intellectual knowledge. It requires compassion, empathy, and the ability to act in ways that transcend pure logic. Dostoevsky's portrayal of Ivan highlights this dichotomy. While intellect can be a powerful tool for understanding the world, it is also capable of isolating us from its inherent beauty and complexity. In exploring why smart people might feel stuck, we uncover underlying themes such as fear of failure, perfectionism, and an overwhelming sense of responsibility. For Ivan, these fears manifest in his intense scrutiny of morality and religion, leading him to question the very foundations of human existence. This mental prison is a reflection of our own struggles with existential questions. What is the purpose of life? How do we find meaning when faced with moral dilemmas? Furthermore, Dostoevsky's work challenges us to consider the role of spirituality in combating intellectual isolation. Ivan's journey towards enlightenment involves not just theoretical understanding, but also a profound shift in perspective that embraces compassion and interconnectedness. This transformation is a call for all thinkers to move beyond mere intellect and engage with life on a deeper, more meaningful level. To understand why we feel stuck, it's essential to recognize the broader societal context. In our modern world, success is often defined by measurable achievements such as wealth, status, and academic accomplishments. However, this narrow definition of success can lead us astray from what truly matters in life: connection, fulfillment, and personal growth. Ivan's story invites us to question these conventions and seek a more holistic approach to living. The transformation that Ivan undergoes is not just a personal journey, but also a call to action for others facing similar struggles. It highlights the importance of breaking free from mental prisons and embracing life with courage and compassion. By doing so, we can transcend our limitations and find true meaning and fulfillment in the face of uncertainty. In conclusion, Dostoevsky's exploration of Ivan Karamazov's existential struggles offers a profound reflection on human wisdom and compassion. It challenges us to rethink the nature of intelligence and its relationship with moral integrity and spiritual fulfillment. As we navigate through life seeking clarity amidst uncertainty, Ivan's journey serves as a powerful reminder that true enlightenment can emerge from moments of being stuck. This transformative narrative is not just about one character's struggle, but a universal call for introspection and action. It encourages us to break free from the confines of our minds and embrace life with all its complexities and contradictions. Through Ivan's story, Dostoevsky offers a timeless message. True wisdom lies in understanding that sometimes it is in our moments of imprisonment that we find the greatest opportunities for transformation. Fyodor Dostoevsky, one of literature's most profound thinkers and storytellers, grappled with the complexities of human nature through his novels. In The Brothers Karamazov, particularly in the character Ivan Karamazov, we find a mirror to our own inner struggles, those moments when intelligence alone fails us and we become paralyzed by indecision or fear. This chapter delves into the heart of why smart people might feel stuck, and what Dostoevsky's narrative suggests about breaking through such mental prisons. Ivan Karamazov, a brilliant yet disillusioned intellectual, embodies the paradox of modern life. Despite his sharp intellect and understanding of philosophy, Ivan finds himself unable to act. His brilliance often leads him into cynicism and despair rather than productive action. This is not unique to Ivan. Many of us find ourselves in similar situations where our minds become prisons confining us from moving forward. One might wonder why someone as intelligent as Ivan would struggle so much with life's basic decisions. The answer lies partly in the nature of his intelligence itself. For Dostoevsky, wisdom isn't just about knowing things, it's about living them. Intellectual understanding can often lead to an overwhelming burden. Knowing too much can make one feel powerless. Ivan is deeply aware of life's contradictions and imperfections. His intellectual journey has led him through nihilism and existential despair. Yet, such knowledge doesn't translate into the ability to create a meaningful or fulfilling existence. This dissonance between knowing and living creates an inner conflict that paralyzes Ivan. Consider Ivan's encounter with Smerdyakov, his half-brother. In this pivotal scene, Smerdyakov challenges Ivan's ideas about morality and fate. The dialogue reveals Ivan's inability to reconcile the abstract moral theories he espouses with their practical implications. This disconnect serves as a stark metaphor for intellectual paralysis. But why does this intellectual paralysis manifest so strongly in intelligent individuals? For one, smart people often have an acute awareness of life's complexities and contradictions. They see not just black and white, but all shades of gray, which can be overwhelming. Additionally, they are adept at questioning every assumption, making it harder to commit to any action or belief. The problem isn't with intelligence per se, it's how one uses their intellect. Dostoevsky critiques the notion that knowledge alone is sufficient for a meaningful life. He suggests that true wisdom involves embracing life in its entirety, flaws and all. Smart people might be stuck because they seek perfection, something unattainable. Moreover, Ivan's struggles highlight another issue, the isolation of intellectual pursuits. Living in one's mind can distance us from the world around us. We become observers rather than participants. This detachment can lead to a sense of helplessness and despair, making it difficult to find motivation or direction. How then does one break free from such mental prisons? Dostoevsky provides subtle guidance through Ivan's journey. For instance, when Ivan is pushed by his brother Alyosha to confront the real-world implications of his ideas, he begins to see a path forward, albeit fraught with difficulty and contradiction. A key part of this process involves embracing uncertainty and imperfection. Instead of seeking absolute truths or perfect solutions, we should accept that life is messy and ambiguous. This acceptance can liberate us from the tyranny of our own minds, allowing us to engage with the world in a more genuine way. Furthermore, Dostoevsky encourages emotional engagement, feeling deeply, even if it means suffering. Intellectual understanding alone is sterile. It requires passion and emotion to truly connect with life's experiences. Embracing these aspects of existence can transform intellectual paralysis into creative and meaningful action. Another crucial step in breaking through mental barriers involves engaging with others. especially those who challenge our perspectives. This dialogue forces us to confront our assumptions and refine our ideas. It also reminds us that we are part of a larger community, connected by shared human experiences rather than isolated intellects. In the context of Dostoevsky's work, this transformation is not just about personal growth, but about recognizing the interconnectedness of all human beings. Ivan's journey ultimately highlights the importance of moral responsibility and empathy qualities that transcend mere intellectual understanding. So, why are smart people often lazy? In many cases, it's because they struggle with the existential burden of their own knowledge. They see too much, understand too deeply, and as a result, become paralyzed by indecision and despair. But Dostoevsky's message is clear. True wisdom lies not in avoiding these struggles, but in embracing them. For those who feel stuck, Dostoevsky offers a path forward. It involves acknowledging the complexity of life without being overwhelmed by it. Embrace your doubts, question everything, and find meaning in uncertainty. Connect with others, engage emotionally, and commit to action despite ambiguity. In doing so, you might discover that your mental prison can become a gateway to profound transformation. And thus, through Ivan's story, we see the potential for redemption and growth even within our darkest moments. Dostoevsky teaches us that intelligence is not enough. It must be balanced with action, empathy, and a willingness to live life fully, imperfections included. Imagine a world where one's intellectual prowess is often mistaken for their capacity to truly live. This is the central theme explored in Fyodor Dostoevsky's complex narrative, particularly through the character of Ivan Karamazov from The Brothers Karamazov. In this chapter, we delve into why smart people are often perceived as lazy and how this perception can lead us all to feel stuck in our lives. We'll examine how intelligence alone is not enough. It must be coupled with action, empathy, and a willingness to embrace life's imperfections. Ivan Karamazov is a character who embodies the struggle between intellect and emotion, reason and faith. His brilliance is undeniable, but his inability to commit to actions or relationships highlights a common pitfall of those who rely too heavily on their minds. Dostoevsky uses Ivan's story as a cautionary tale about the dangers of over-intellectualization, a condition that can paralyze one's ability to engage with life on an emotional and practical level. At first glance, it seems counterintuitive that someone as intelligent as Ivan would feel stuck or disconnected from life. After all, isn't intelligence supposed to lead us towards clarity and success? But Dostoevsky challenges this notion by illustrating how being overly analytical can actually hinder one's ability to find meaning and fulfillment. Let's take a closer look at what it means for smart people to be lazy in the context of Ivan Karamazov. At its core, this phenomenon refers to a tendency among highly intelligent individuals to overthink situations rather than taking action. This leads to paralysis by analysis. So much time is spent contemplating every possible outcome that no actual decisions are ever made. The concept isn't just limited to literature, it's something many of us can relate to in our daily lives. Think about the last time you faced a decision and found yourself endlessly debating pros and cons instead of just making a choice. This kind of mental paralysis can be debilitating, leaving individuals feeling overwhelmed and unable to move forward. Now, let's explore why people with high intellect often find themselves stuck in such cycles. One reason is their heightened awareness of the complexity and ambiguity inherent in life's challenges. They are acutely aware of all possible outcomes, both positive and negative, which can be overwhelming. This constant stream of mental activity creates a sense of paralysis as they struggle to choose between countless options. Another factor contributing to this phenomenon is the fear of making mistakes. Intelligent individuals often set extremely high standards for themselves and others, leading them to believe that any action must be perfect before it's taken. This perfectionism can lead to severe anxiety about failure or error, causing many to remain in a state of indecision. Additionally, smart people might feel disconnected from their emotional selves due to the dominance of rational thought. They may underestimate the importance of feelings and intuition in decision-making processes, relying solely on logical reasoning, which often fails to capture the nuances and subtleties inherent in human experience. Dostoevsky's portrayal of Ivan Karamazov is a powerful reminder that intelligence alone does not guarantee happiness or fulfillment. His character demonstrates how intellectualism can isolate one from meaningful connections with others, leading to feelings of loneliness and existential despair. The irony lies in the fact that it's often these very relationships, full of messiness and imperfection, that bring us true joy and purpose. So, what's the solution? How do we break free from this cycle of mental paralysis and embrace a more balanced approach to life? Dostoevsky offers some insights through Ivan's journey. He suggests that redemption and growth come not only from intellectual pursuits but also from engaging fully with life's uncertainties and imperfections. Firstly, it's essential for smart people to recognize the value of action over analysis. Sometimes making a decision, even if imperfect, can lead to better outcomes than endless deliberation. This is because taking action often provides new information that wasn't available before, allowing for adjustments and refinements along the way. Secondly, connecting with others in meaningful ways can help bridge the gap between intellect and emotion. Engaging emotionally with friends, family, and communities allows individuals to experience life's richness more fully while also providing support during challenging times. Lastly, committing to action despite ambiguity fosters resilience and adaptability, key traits for navigating an unpredictable world. By embracing uncertainty rather than fearing it, smart people can learn to live fuller lives that are less constrained by the limits of their own minds. Through Ivan's story, we see how one's mental prison can become a gateway to profound transformation when approached with openness and action. Dostoevsky teaches us that true wisdom lies not in avoiding life's challenges, but in facing them head-on, whether through intellectual curiosity or emotional engagement. In conclusion, the key lesson from The Pleasure of Toothaches is that intelligence must be balanced with a willingness to live fully and imperfectly. By doing so, we open ourselves up to discovering meaning even amidst uncertainty, connecting deeply with others, engaging emotionally with life's challenges, and committing wholeheartedly to action despite ambiguity. So, the next time you find yourself stuck in a cycle of overthinking or paralysis by analysis, remember Ivan Karamazov. Embrace your intelligence, but don't let it isolate you from the richness and beauty of everyday existence. Life is too short for mental prison. Break free and live fully. The idea that smart people are lazy, especially when it comes to taking action and engaging deeply with the world around them, is a paradox that has intrigued thinkers for centuries. In literature, one of the most profound explorations of this theme can be found in Fyodor Dostoevsky's work. The Russian author, through his intricate narratives and complex characters, delves into the depths of human psychology and the existential questions that plague us all. Ivan Karamazov, a character from Dostoevsky's masterpiece, The Brothers Karamazov, is particularly emblematic of this struggle. A brilliant but disillusioned intellectual, Ivan grapples with the moral dilemmas inherent in being an intelligent yet detached observer of life. His story serves as a powerful allegory for the modern individual's predicament, how to find purpose and meaning when confronted by an often chaotic and uncertain world. The journey begins with an examination of Ivan's intellectual prowess, which is not just his gift, but also his curse. As a philosopher, he possesses an acute understanding of human nature, ethics, and existential quandaries. Yet this same intelligence isolates him from the simplicity and immediacy of everyday life. He finds himself pondering abstract concepts while ordinary people around him are engaged in more tangible pursuits. Dostoevsky illustrates how Ivan's detachment stems from his inability to reconcile reason with faith, morality with human imperfection. His intellectual rigor leads him down a path where everything must be questioned and analyzed, leaving little room for the spontaneous joy or commitment that many find in life's simple pleasures. This disconnection is poignantly captured when Ivan muses on the absurdity of moral absolutes in a world filled with suffering and injustice. The narrative progresses by highlighting how Ivan's paralysis arises not just from his intellect, but also from his emotional estrangement from others. He struggles to form genuine human connections, viewing them as fleeting and ultimately meaningless compared to the grand philosophical questions that preoccupy him. This isolation is further exacerbated by societal expectations and the pressure to conform to conventional notions of success. The story takes a poignant turn when Ivan encounters moments of profound suffering and loss. These instances challenge his cerebral constructs and force him to confront the raw realities of existence. The death of children, the betrayal of friends, and the relentless cruelty of life itself become powerful catalysts for change. Dostoevsky uses these dramatic events to underscore the importance of emotional engagement in finding meaning. In a famous scene from The Brothers Karamazov, Ivan is visited by his younger brother Alyosha, who represents faith and spiritual connection. Through their conversations, Dostoevsky explores how intellectual detachment can be overcome through acts of compassion and empathy. The contrast between the two brothers, intellectual versus spiritual, is emblematic of the broader human struggle to integrate reason with emotion. Furthermore, Ivan's journey is a reflection on the paradoxes inherent in modern life, the tension between seeking absolute truth and accepting the ambiguity of reality. His story challenges the notion that intelligence alone is sufficient for understanding or solving life's most pressing questions. Instead, it suggests that wisdom comes from embracing uncertainty and finding meaning within one's own limitations. The narrative culminates with Ivan's realization that true enlightenment lies not in rejecting the world, but in fully engaging with its complexities. By acknowledging his emotional needs and forming deeper connections with others, he begins to transcend his intellectual isolation. This transformation is not a rejection of reason, but an acceptance of its limits and a recognition of the vital role played by faith, emotion, and community. In drawing parallels between Ivan Karamazov's journey and the struggles faced by many in today's society, we see how Dostoevsky's insights remain relevant. The modern individual often finds themselves caught between the allure of intellectual pursuits and the necessity of emotional engagement to find a sense of purpose. Just as Ivan learns to bridge this gap, so too can we. The implications of embracing both reason and emotion are profound. By doing so, one not only enriches their personal life, but also contributes more meaningfully to society. Engaging with others on an empathetic level fosters deeper connections and a sense of shared humanity that transcends individual intellect. It is through these interactions that we discover the true richness of existence. In conclusion, Dostoevsky's exploration of Ivan Karamazov offers a compelling critique of intellectual detachment while proposing a path towards integration and wholeness. For those who find themselves stuck in cycles of overthinking or paralyzed by analysis, the lesson is clear. Embrace your intelligence, but don't let it isolate you from the beauty and complexity of everyday life. By breaking free from mental prisons, we open ourselves up to discovering meaning even amidst uncertainty, connecting deeply with others, engaging emotionally with challenges, and committing wholeheartedly to action despite ambiguity. Life, after all, is too short for a mental prison. Embrace its full spectrum of experiences and live fully. The story begins in a dimly lit room where the faint hum of a grand piano echoes through the walls. This is not just any ordinary space, it's a place steeped in history and philosophy, one that brings to mind the complex writings of Fyodor Dostoevsky. In this chapter titled The Piano Key, we explore why intelligent people often find themselves stuck or paralyzed by analysis, drawing insights from Dostoevsky's profound reflections on human nature. The room is filled with a sense of anticipation and introspection as we delve into the heart of why smart individuals sometimes struggle to take action, despite their vast intellectual capabilities. Dostoevsky's work is rich in themes that speak directly to this dilemma, the tension between intelligence and emotion, reason versus passion. In his novels, characters often find themselves at a crossroads where profound thought does little more than paralyze them into indecision and stagnation. Think of Ivan Karamazov's existential crisis, Raskolnikov's moral quandary, or even Alyosha's search for spiritual guidance in The Brothers Karamazov. Each character embodies the struggle to reconcile complex intellectual frameworks with the demands of a chaotic, unpredictable reality. Why does this phenomenon occur? One explanation lies in the nature of how smart individuals process information. They have an acute awareness of complexity and nuance that can become overwhelming. This isn't just about overthinking, it's about seeing too much, understanding the intricate layers beneath every decision, and finding it difficult to narrow down to a single course of action. The intellectual sees not just one path, but myriad possibilities, each with its own merits and drawbacks. This is akin to standing in front of an endless array of piano keys, each key representing a different choice or possibility, and struggling to decide which one to press. This paralysis can lead to a kind of mental isolation. Smart people often find themselves detached from the emotional simplicity that others experience when making decisions. They might see through the illusions that guide everyday choices, leaving them feeling alienated and disconnected. This disconnection can manifest as a sense of being stuck in thought without finding a way forward into action. Yet, there is hope. Dostoevsky's characters ultimately find ways to break free from their mental prisons. Ivan Karamazov's existential despair leads him to a profound understanding that suffering has meaning and value. Raskolnikov's journey through guilt and redemption teaches us about the necessity of human connection and forgiveness. Alyosha, despite his initial struggles with faith, learns the importance of embracing life's mysteries and uncertainties. The lesson for intelligent individuals is clear: embrace your intellect, but don't let it isolate you from the beauty and complexity of everyday life. By breaking free from mental prisons, we open ourselves up to discovering meaning even amidst uncertainty, connecting deeply with others, engaging emotionally with challenges, and committing wholeheartedly to action despite ambiguity. This doesn't mean abandoning reason or intellectual pursuits. Rather, it's about finding a balance where logic and emotion coexist. It's akin to learning how to play the piano not just by understanding the mechanics of each key, but also by feeling the music that comes from pressing them. Engaging with life in this way allows us to appreciate its full spectrum of experiences, both the joyous and the painful, and to live fully despite our analytical tendencies. The path forward is one that recognizes the value of both mind and heart, acknowledging that while intelligence can illuminate many truths about existence, it cannot provide all answers. It's in recognizing this limitation and still choosing to engage deeply with life that we find true fulfillment. This isn't a call to abandon reason, but rather to embrace its limitations as part of the human condition. So, how do we navigate these complexities? Start by acknowledging the beauty in uncertainty and embracing it. Recognize that not knowing everything is okay. Indeed, it's necessary for growth and connection. Seek out meaningful experiences that challenge your intellect but also touch your heart. Engage with people who see life differently from you, learn from their perspectives, and let them enrich yours. Life, after all, is too short for a mental prison. Embrace its full spectrum of experiences and live fully. By doing so, we find not just personal fulfillment, but a deeper understanding of the world around us, a world that, while complex and challenging, offers endless opportunities for growth and connection. Imagine a room dimly lit by the glow of an old desk lamp. A man sits at this wooden desk, his eyes fixed on a blank sheet of paper in front of him. This isn't just any man, it's Fyodor Dostoevsky, one of literature's most brilliant and tormented minds. He looks at that page with a mixture of fear and determination, knowing the weight of expectation is heavy as ever. His latest project, his greatest challenge yet, to pen down a novel that would transcend the boundaries of time and place. The task before him seems insurmountable, and yet he understands this isn't just about writing, it's about understanding himself and those around him in ways never seen before. Dostoevsky's life was a tapestry woven with threads of brilliance and despair. Born into a family of modest means, he found solace and escape in literature from an early age. But his genius wasn't solely reserved for the world of fiction. It extended to his personal life as well. He had an uncanny ability to empathize deeply with others, often putting himself in their shoes. This capacity for deep understanding didn't just make him a profound writer. It also made him acutely aware of the complexities and contradictions that define human existence. As Dostoevsky sat at his desk, lost in thought, he wasn't just struggling to put pen to paper. He was grappling with existential questions that had plagued philosophers for centuries. Why do people act the way they do? What drives us to make choices that can be both noble and cruel? Why are we often paralyzed by fear when it comes to taking risks or making changes in our lives? These aren't just idle musings. They are the fuel that fed his creative process, pushing him to explore the depths of the human condition through his writing. And yet, despite this profound intellectual engagement with life's most pressing questions, there was a paradox at play. Dostoevsky was often criticized for his perceived laziness or procrastination. How could one of history's greatest thinkers be accused of avoiding hard work? To truly understand this conundrum, we must delve into the psychological and philosophical dimensions that Dostoevsky explored in his novels, dimensions that also apply to us today. Smart people, those who possess a keen intellect and an insatiable curiosity about the world around them, often face unique challenges when it comes to productivity. They have so many ideas swirling in their minds, so much knowledge at their fingertips that the act of focusing on one thing can feel overwhelming. This is where the concept of analysis paralysis comes into play. The more you know, and the more you think about something, the harder it becomes to take action because every decision seems fraught with potential pitfalls. Dostoevsky exemplified this struggle in his work and personal life. He knew that creating something truly meaningful required not just intelligence but also courage to face one's fears head-on and to push through the doubt and uncertainty. Yet, this didn't come naturally to him. It was a conscious effort, a battle fought internally every day. So why are smart people often perceived as lazy? One reason lies in their tendency towards perfectionism. They set incredibly high standards for themselves because they know what excellence looks like, and the gap between where they are now and where they want to be can seem insurmountable. This fear of falling short leads them to delay starting a project or working on it until conditions are just right, which might never come. Another factor is that smart individuals often find traditional work environments stifling. They yearn for something more than routine tasks and rigid structures. They crave creativity, spontaneity, and freedom. When these elements aren't present in their daily lives, they may become disengaged or unproductive, not because they lack drive, but because the environment isn't conducive to unlocking their full potential. Now, let's turn our attention to why you might feel stuck in your own life. Have you ever felt like no matter how hard you try, progress seems elusive? Maybe you've set ambitious goals for yourself, only to find that they remain unachieved year after year. This can be incredibly frustrating and demotivating, leading many to believe there's something wrong with them, perhaps a lack of self-discipline or motivation. But what if the real issue isn't laziness, but rather a mismatch between your capabilities and the environment you're operating in? Just like Dostoevsky found traditional work settings unappealing, you too may be searching for an outlet where your talents can flourish. It's crucial to recognize that success looks different for everyone, and sometimes finding it means stepping outside conventional paths. Moreover, consider how deeply you engage with the world around you. Dostoevsky's genius wasn't merely in his ability to think, but also in his willingness to feel, to empathize deeply with others and understand their struggles on an emotional level. This profound connection was what made his work resonate so powerfully with readers. In many ways, this is a lesson for all of us. True fulfillment often comes from embracing our unique perspectives and letting them inform how we interact with the world. It's about recognizing that while intelligence is valuable, it's not enough on its own. You need passion, curiosity, and an openness to experience life fully. And there lies the key to breaking free from stagnation by seeking out experiences that challenge your intellect but also touch your heart. Engage with people who see life differently from you, learn from their perspectives, and let them enrich yours. By doing so, you not only expand your understanding of yourself but also cultivate resilience in the face of adversity. Life is indeed short for a mental prison. It offers us endless opportunities to grow and connect if we're willing to embrace its full spectrum of experiences. Whether it's through reading Dostoevsky's works, embarking on new adventures, or simply having deep conversations with those around you, the journey towards personal fulfillment begins when you open yourself up to these moments. By taking this path, you don't just find satisfaction, you discover a deeper understanding of the world, a complex and challenging world, yes, but one that holds boundless potential for growth and connection. As we delve into the intricacies of human nature and intellectual pursuits, we find ourselves face to face with Fyodor Dostoevsky's profound exploration of the soul. Born in Moscow in 1821, Dostoevsky is celebrated not only for his literary genius but also for his ability to dissect the complexities of life through deeply philosophical narratives that question the very essence of human existence and moral integrity. His works are a testament to the power of literature as both an art form and a mirror to society, reflecting the struggles, triumphs, and paradoxes inherent in being human. Dostoevsky's exploration into the labyrinthine depths of human consciousness and morality often manifests through the lives of his characters. These aren't merely stories. They are profound inquiries into what it means to be alive and to grapple with existential questions that remain as relevant today as they were during the author's lifetime. A prime example is seen in his novel Notes from Underground, where a bitter, alienated narrator delves into the psyche of urban loneliness and societal indifference, challenging the reader's understanding of freedom and self-awareness. But why do we often find ourselves drawn to such deep contemplation? Why are smart people, or those who possess an analytical mind, prone to laziness in action despite their capacity for intellectual exertion? It is a paradox that has puzzled thinkers throughout history. One possible explanation lies within the realm of existentialism, where the weight of choices and the infinite possibilities they present can lead to paralysis rather than action. This philosophical viewpoint suggests that the overwhelming nature of making decisions in an uncertain world might cause individuals to retreat into their minds as a means of escaping reality. Another critical factor contributing to this phenomenon is the fear of failure or judgment, which often paralyzes even the most brilliant among us. The pressure to succeed and maintain one's reputation can be suffocating, leading individuals to opt for inaction over risking embarrassment or disappointment. This fear is particularly potent in environments where success is narrowly defined by external achievements rather than intrinsic growth. Moreover, there's the concept of cognitive overload. When faced with an abundance of information and decision-making processes, our brains can reach a point of saturation, leading to exhaustion and disinterest in pursuing further intellectual endeavors. This mental fatigue manifests as laziness or procrastination, even though the individual possesses the capability for profound thought. In Dostoevsky's work, this concept is vividly portrayed through characters who are overwhelmed by their own intellects, unable to find a balance between thinking and acting. They often become prisoners of their thoughts, trapped in a world where every decision seems monumental and overwhelming. This portrayal reflects the broader human condition, our struggle to reconcile our intellectual capabilities with the practical demands of everyday life. The Crystal Palace, which can be seen as a metaphorical space within Dostoevsky's literary universe, represents an idealized realm where perfection is possible but ultimately unattainable. Just as the characters in his novels search for this elusive paradise of clarity and simplicity amidst chaos, so too do we grapple with our own quest for fulfillment amidst the complexities of modern life. To understand why smart people might be lazy, it's crucial to recognize that intelligence alone does not equate to productivity or happiness. The ability to think deeply is just one aspect of what makes us human. How we apply and utilize this intelligence is equally important. Dostoevsky's characters often become victims of their own brilliance, lost in a labyrinth of thought without ever finding the way out into action. Furthermore, the idea that smart people are lazy may stem from societal expectations that equate success with constant activity and visible achievement. In such a culture, those who do not fit this mold might be perceived as inactive or unproductive, leading to a misinterpretation of intelligence as laziness rather than an existential struggle. In Dostoevsky's writings, characters frequently find themselves at crossroads where the path forward is obscured by doubt and indecision. This mirrors our own experiences in life when we face choices that feel monumental and overwhelming. The fear of making the wrong decision can lead to a form of paralysis, preventing individuals from taking steps towards their goals or aspirations. This idea extends beyond individual psychology to encompass broader societal issues. In contemporary society, there is often an expectation for continuous productivity and success. This pressure can be detrimental to those who need time to think deeply and process information thoroughly before acting. The culture of constant achievement can lead to burnout and a disconnection from one's true self and desires. Dostoevsky's exploration of these themes in his work invites readers to question the nature of productivity and success. Are we truly happy when we are constantly busy, or do moments of reflection and introspection offer deeper fulfillment? This question challenges us to reevaluate our values and priorities, encouraging a more balanced approach to life that integrates both intellectual pursuit and practical action. The Crystal Palace, in this context, serves as an allegory for the ideal state many strive towards but rarely achieve. It represents a place of clarity and simplicity amidst the chaos of daily life. However, just like Dostoevsky's characters who never find their way to this utopia, we too may seek such perfectionism without ever reaching it. This struggle is not only about finding balance between thought and action, but also understanding that imperfection is an inherent part of being human. Dostoevsky's narratives often highlight the importance of engaging with life fully, even if it means embracing its complexities and contradictions. Through his characters' journeys, we see the value in experiencing both joy and pain, success and failure. This holistic approach to living teaches us that true fulfillment comes from embracing all aspects of existence rather than seeking to avoid or suppress them. As readers immerse themselves in Dostoevsky's works, they are encouraged to reflect on their own lives and the choices they make. The characters' struggles with decision-making, morality, and personal identity serve as mirrors for our own journeys. By confronting these challenges through literature, we can gain insights into how to navigate similar obstacles in real life. Moreover, Dostoevsky's exploration of intellectual paralysis provides a framework for understanding why smart people might appear lazy. It suggests that the fear of failure, cognitive overload, and existential questioning are not unique to his characters but are universal human experiences. This recognition allows us to approach our own dilemmas with empathy and self-awareness. In conclusion, Dostoevsky's work offers a profound commentary on the nature of human intellect and its relationship to action. Through his intricate narratives and deeply philosophical inquiries, he challenges readers to consider the balance between thought and deed. The Crystal Palace serves as both an aspiration and a cautionary tale, a reminder that true fulfillment lies in embracing life's complexities rather than striving for an unattainable ideal. So, as we navigate our own paths through life, may we find inspiration in Dostoevsky's exploration of the soul. May his characters' struggles and triumphs serve as guides on our journey towards personal growth and fulfillment. And let us not forget that even amidst the chaos of daily living, there is beauty to be found in every moment. Fyodor Dostoevsky's work is often viewed through the lens of profound existential and philosophical inquiry, offering readers a window into the depths of human consciousness. In his narratives, characters are not just vehicles for plot, but are themselves complex embodiments of the struggles and triumphs of the soul. Through their experiences, we see reflections of our own inner turmoil and quests for meaning in life's myriad challenges. Dostoevsky's exploration of the human condition is a rich tapestry woven from threads of idealism and reality. This dichotomy forms the crux of his narratives, often leading characters to confront the gap between their aspirations and the harsh realities they face. This dynamic is especially evident in the portrayal of intellectual figures who grapple with the disillusionment that can come when theory meets practice. One such character is Ivan Karamazov from The Brothers Karamazov. Here, Dostoevsky delves into the psyche of an individual burdened by the weight of his intellect. Ivan's journey serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of overthinking and intellectualism without practical engagement with life. This character embodies the struggle between idealistic visions of perfection and the chaotic unpredictability of real-world existence. The tension between idealism and reality is not just personal, but societal, reflecting broader philosophical debates that have persisted throughout history. From Plato's allegory of the cave to Kant's critique of pure reason, there has been a persistent question about whether our minds can grasp an objective truth or if they are confined by subjective experiences. In Dostoevsky's works, this tension manifests in the characters' quests for moral and spiritual clarity. These searches often lead them into realms where their intellectual beliefs clash with the stark realities of human suffering and ethical ambiguity. It is here that we see the potential dangers of idealism, the belief that life can be perfect or understood completely through reason. The concept of why smart people are lazy, a recurring theme in discussions about productivity and personal growth, ties directly into this narrative. In Notes from Underground, Dostoevsky introduces us to an unnamed narrator whose intellect is both his strength and weakness. This character's struggle with inertia is emblematic of a broader human tendency. The more we understand the flaws and complexities inherent in our existence, the harder it becomes to act decisively or optimistically. Why are smart people prone to inaction? The answer lies not just in individual psychology, but also in societal expectations. In an age where success is often measured by productivity and output, those who possess a deeper understanding of life's complexities may find themselves paralyzed by the sheer weight of their insights. This introspection can lead to what psychologists term analysis paralysis, the inability to make decisions or take action due to overthinking. Moreover, the idea that you are stuck is not just about intellectual laziness, but also about existential dread. It speaks to a broader sense of disillusionment with life's lack of meaning and purpose. Dostoevsky's characters often confront this dilemma through their personal journeys, each facing moments where they must decide whether to continue striving for an unattainable ideal or embrace the chaotic beauty of reality. In Crime and Punishment, Raskolnikov grapples with his intellectual justification for murder. His theory about extraordinary individuals having a right to transgress moral laws in the name of achieving greatness sets him on a path fraught with internal conflict and external consequences. This narrative illustrates how lofty ideals can lead to devastating actions when they are not tempered by empathy or ethical considerations. The contrast between idealism and reality also plays out through Dostoevsky's depiction of social issues. Characters like the Underground Man critique societal norms that prioritize efficiency over human connection, arguing that such a worldview neglects the intrinsic value of personal relationships and emotional intelligence. This perspective challenges readers to question whether the relentless pursuit of intellectual or material success truly leads to fulfillment. Furthermore, Dostoevsky's narratives often highlight the paradoxes inherent in striving for perfection. His characters frequently find themselves caught between their aspirations and the limitations imposed by human nature. This struggle is a reminder that true growth often comes from embracing imperfection rather than striving for an unattainable ideal. One of Dostoevsky's most enduring messages is about the importance of moral engagement with life's complexities. Through his characters' journeys, he emphasizes that meaningful existence requires more than theoretical knowledge or intellectual prowess. It demands a commitment to ethical living and compassion towards others. This perspective counters the notion that smart people are lazy by highlighting the value in practical action and emotional intelligence. In The Brothers Karamazov, Dostoevsky contrasts Ivan's intellectualism with Alyosha's spiritual wisdom, illustrating the importance of balancing reason with faith. Alyosha's approach to life emphasizes a holistic understanding that includes both rational thought and emotional depth. This balance is crucial for navigating the complexities of existence without succumbing to paralysis or disillusionment. Ultimately, Dostoevsky's exploration of idealism and reality serves as both an aspiration and a cautionary tale, a reminder that true fulfillment lies in embracing life's complexities rather than striving for an unattainable ideal. His characters' struggles and triumphs serve as guides on our journey towards personal growth and fulfillment. As we navigate our own paths through life, let us find inspiration in Dostoevsky's exploration of the soul. May his narratives challenge us to question our assumptions about what it means to live a meaningful existence and encourage us to seek balance between intellectual pursuits and practical engagement with the world around us. And let us not forget that even amidst the chaos of daily living, there is beauty to be found in every moment. As we venture deeper into our personal growth journeys, it's essential to look for inspiration and wisdom from literary giants like Fyodor Dostoevsky. His exploration of the human condition through complex narratives challenges us to question our own assumptions about what truly makes life meaningful. In this chapter, Finding Balance in Chaos, we delve into how even intellectually brilliant minds sometimes fall prey to a form of inertia that can stifle their full potential, a phenomenon often observed as why smart people are lazy and why you might feel stuck despite your intelligence. Dostoevsky's works are replete with characters who grapple with the tension between abstract thinking and active engagement. These characters often find themselves lost in a sea of philosophical contemplation without ever making tangible strides towards their goals. This is emblematic of the intellectual quandary many smart individuals face. The allure of profound thoughts can sometimes overshadow the necessity of action. To understand this better, let's take a closer look at one of Dostoevsky's most renowned characters, Prince Mishkin from The Idiot. A Christ-like figure in a society corrupted by materialism and moral decay, Prince Mishkin possesses extraordinary intellectual capabilities, yet his brilliance is often overshadowed by his inability to act decisively in practical matters. His contemplation of lofty ideals leaves him ill-equipped for the harsh realities of life, illustrating how too much reflection can paralyze one's ability to engage with the world. The paradox Dostoevsky illustrates is that while deep thought and intellectual rigor are necessary components of a meaningful existence, they must be balanced by practical action. The challenge lies in finding this balance amidst the chaos and complexity of daily life. This struggle is not just an abstract literary concept, but a lived reality for many individuals who find themselves contemplating grand ideas without ever translating them into concrete actions. So why do smart people often feel lazy or stuck? One reason could be the fear of making mistakes in their pursuit of perfection, which paradoxically hinders progress. The intellect can be both a blessing and a curse. It provides us with endless possibilities, but also overwhelming options that can lead to analysis paralysis. This is where Dostoevsky's characters come into play. Each one serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of overthinking and underacting. Consider another character, Svidrigailov from Crime and Punishment. His life embodies the consequences of neglecting practical action in favor of abstract thought. Consumed by his intellectual obsessions and moral dilemmas, he fails to take meaningful steps towards personal redemption or happiness. Instead, he becomes a tragic figure consumed by his own thoughts, unable to find balance between internal reflection and external engagement. The key insight from Dostoevsky's narratives is that achieving balance requires acknowledging the interplay between thought and action. It means recognizing when excessive contemplation leads to inertia and taking proactive steps towards resolving this imbalance. This involves not just thinking about what to do, but also doing it, no matter how imperfect or flawed the attempt might be. Moreover, Dostoevsky's work reminds us of the importance of resilience in the face of chaos. Life is inherently unpredictable and often tumultuous, yet it is within this chaos that we find opportunities for growth and fulfillment. By embracing the unpredictability of life and accepting that mistakes are a natural part of the journey, we can move beyond intellectual paralysis and towards meaningful action. Another crucial aspect of Dostoevsky's teachings relates to the concept of personal responsibility. Characters like Raskolnikov from Crime and Punishment demonstrate how avoiding concrete actions can lead to moral decay and existential despair. It is through acknowledging our responsibilities and taking steps to fulfill them that we find a sense of purpose and direction in life. In reflecting on these literary insights, it becomes clear that the path towards personal growth involves not just intellectual contemplation, but also active engagement with the world around us. This journey requires courage to act despite fear, to confront our mistakes head-on, and to continuously seek balance between thought and deed. Dostoevsky's narratives offer a profound lesson in the art of living meaningfully. They encourage us to embrace the complexity of life, to recognize the importance of practical action alongside intellectual pursuits, and to find beauty even amidst chaos. By doing so, we can unlock our full potential and live lives that are both intellectually stimulating and practically fulfilling. So as you continue on your own journey towards personal growth and fulfillment, remember the wisdom imparted by Dostoevsky's characters. Balance is key in navigating the turbulent waters of life. Embrace the paradoxes, take decisive action despite fear, and seek to find harmony between your mind and the world around you. The Way Out. A journey into Dostoevsky's existential musings and the paradox of intellectual laziness in pursuit of personal growth. In Fyodor Dostoevsky's works, especially his novel Crime and Punishment, we encounter a deep reflection on why smart people sometimes choose paths that seem counterintuitive to their potential for success or happiness. Raskolnikov, the protagonist, is an intellectual trapped in a world of overthinking and self-doubt, unable to translate his ideas into action. This narrative serves as a mirror to our own lives, where we may find ourselves paralyzed by fear and analysis. Paralysis despite having all the knowledge and capability to move forward. Dostoevsky's characters often grapple with existential dilemmas that are not only confined within their fictional worlds but resonate deeply in contemporary society. They ask questions about the nature of existence, morality, and the struggle between intellect and action. The intellectual laziness Dostoevsky explores isn't necessarily a lack of activity or physical inertia. It's more of an inability to engage with life, because one is too caught up in thoughts, theories, and philosophical contemplation without putting them into practice. The paradox here lies in the notion that those who are capable of understanding complex ideas and seeing multiple perspectives might find it particularly challenging to act upon these insights. They may feel overwhelmed by the weight of their own knowledge or fear making decisions that could lead to failure or negative outcomes. This is why many smart individuals, despite having a wealth of resources and potential at their disposal, often remain stagnant. To understand this phenomenon more deeply, it's essential to delve into Dostoevsky's portrayal of his characters in Crime and Punishment. Raskolnikov starts with a grand theory about the inherent nature of power and authority, believing he has the right to commit murder for noble ends. However, after acting on this theory, he spirals into an existential crisis, questioning everything he once believed. His inability to reconcile his actions with his thoughts leads him down a path of suffering and isolation. Dostoevsky's works often highlight the importance of personal accountability in times of moral or intellectual confusion. Raskolnikov's journey is one of self-discovery and redemption, showing that true wisdom comes from living through experiences rather than merely contemplating them. The characters who move forward despite their fears and doubts are depicted as more rounded individuals, finding balance between their internal worlds and the external challenges they face. This theme extends beyond literature into our everyday lives. Many people struggle with procrastination or indecision due to an overabundance of information and options. They become prisoners of their own minds, unable to make choices because every possibility seems equally compelling or terrible. This paralysis is exacerbated by societal pressures that emphasize the importance of intelligence and knowledge without adequately addressing how these should be translated into practical action. Dostoevsky's works offer a powerful antidote to this intellectual laziness by reminding us of the necessity of balance. The characters who achieve fulfillment are those who learn to embrace their fears, take risks, and engage fully with life. This is not about dismissing intelligence, but rather understanding its limitations when it comes to navigating the complexities of existence. In The Idiot, Prince Myshkin returns from a sanatorium to find that while he has gained philosophical clarity through his time away, he must now confront the harsh realities of social interaction and political intrigue. His initial struggles stem from an inability to reconcile his idealistic notions with the pragmatic demands of daily life. However, as the story progresses, Prince Myshkin learns to navigate these challenges, finding a middle ground between his philosophical ideals and the practical needs of those around him. The lesson here is that while intelligence can provide us with profound insights into human nature and societal structures, it often requires emotional engagement and physical action to truly make an impact. The characters who succeed are not just thinkers but doers. They act courageously in the face of adversity, accepting both their failures and triumphs as part of a larger journey towards self-actualization. One of the most poignant examples is Ivan Karamazov's struggle with faith in The Brothers Karamazov. He questions the existence of God and the moral foundations of society, but ultimately finds solace through his conversations with Alyosha, who encourages him to engage actively with life rather than retreating into philosophical despair. This highlights that intellectual growth must be accompanied by emotional and spiritual development for it to lead to personal fulfillment. Dostoevsky's exploration of these themes underscores the importance of embracing paradoxes in our lives. We need both the sharpness of intellect and the warmth of human connection. We must balance our theoretical understanding with practical engagement. The characters who thrive are those who can move fluidly between different states of being, finding meaning not just in grand ideas but also in small moments of everyday life. This is particularly relevant today as we face an information overload where knowledge alone does not equate to wisdom or success. We must learn from Dostoevsky's characters by embracing action over paralysis and engaging fully with the world around us, even when it means stepping outside our comfort zones. It's about acknowledging that while intelligence is a valuable asset, Its true worth lies in how we use it to live more fulfilling lives. In conclusion, Dostoevsky's works remind us of the importance of balance and action in navigating life's complexities. By learning from his characters' journeys, we can unlock our full potential, finding harmony between our minds and the world around us. This means embracing paradoxes, taking decisive action despite fear, and seeking to find beauty even amidst chaos. The way out of intellectual laziness is through a holistic approach that values both knowledge and experience. So, as you continue on your own journey towards personal growth and fulfillment, remember the wisdom imparted by Dostoevsky's characters. Balance is key in navigating the turbulent waters of life. Embrace the paradoxes, take decisive action despite fear, and seek to find harmony between your mind and the world around you.